Hello everyone, welcome back to another new video. I cannot believe that I'm actually keeping up with this. I guess a dress, I don't know why I feel the need to address this to everyone, but I got my septum pierced. I feel like it's so shocking that I have to say it. So today's video is going to be about my experience at Coachella. I went for the first time this year in 2019 after many years of thinking and wondering what Coachella would be like. I feel like when I was younger, I really wanted to go. As I got older and like festivals became less of a dream and more of my reality, I kind of realized that Coachella is not up my alley really. And then everything changed. Right when I came home from New Year's Eve 360 with Bass Nectar, the obsession was at an all-time high, as it always is right when I come home from one of his curated events. And then Coachella dropped their lineup with almost no money left to my name. After my 4-day New Year's Eve run, I decided to buy a $500 Coachella ticket. So I guess let's just get right into my experience. So I'm not going to go into too much detail because anyone that's watching this video probably already knows the basics of Coachella. It's a 3-day festival. It takes place in Indio, California in the desert. So it's about an hour and a half, 2 hours from LA. Like I said, it costs around $500 to go for the 3 days, which is a little bit expensive for a festival that's only 3 days, but it's kind of standard with any of the other bigger festivals like Ultra, EDC. If you're trying to go to a mainstream festival, that's just what it is. Every year there are 2 weekends and they have the same lineup for both weekends. All the music is like mostly mainstream. It's going to be more mainstream, while there are still a wide variety of genres, but most of the genres are going to be genres that are popular: pop music and like indie music and a little bit of EDM and rap music. So all of those genres are going to be covered. I know a lot more about EDM. Those are the sets that I chose to go see. So if you're interested in that, it's mostly going to be house music. I'm into bass music and there weren't that many options. Honestly, I went just because I knew Bass Nectar was going to be there. I wasn't going for anyone else, so anything else I could see for the weekend was kind of a bonus. So like I said, the festival is 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. As far as tickets go, there is a pre-sale at the beginning of the summer. That's when you don't know who is on the lineup. Then the regular sale goes on sale in January, and I personally went on the website the moment that the tickets were available, actually a couple minutes before, and like waited in the virtual line. By the time I got out of the virtual line, weekend one was completely sold out, and I ended up buying a weekend 2 pass. Every ticket for the weekend 2 passes were sold out as well for the basic GA passes. I spent an extra $50 or $60 to get a shuttle pass. I don't know how the shuttle works because I camped, so I also spent an extra $130 for my camping pass, which was not included in the price of the ticket. Just in case there's any confusion when I'm talking about it, I ended up selling my weekend 2 pass like the day before weekend 2, and I ended up buying a weekend 1 pass off of StubHub like 3 weeks before weekend 1. I originally bought a ticket for weekend 2, ended up going weekend 1, was gonna go both weekends, sold my second weekend ticket. So my advice is definitely to be ready when the tickets come out, because there's no guarantee that just because you are ready to buy the tickets right when they go on sale that you're going to be able to get one. It is a little bit about luck. Weekend 1 tickets were extremely expensive on StubHub right away. Weekend 2 you could pretty much buy for face value off StubHub right away, but there were hefty fees from StubHub that made it a little bit more expensive. And then by the time I bought my weekend 1 ticket like a couple weeks ahead, I think I paid like $550, so not that much more, maybe $100 more than face value for the ticket, and only $40 more than I paid for my weekend 2 pass with the shuttle. On the day before Coachella weekend 1 this year, me and my friends saw tickets that were on sale on Craigslist for like $250, so tickets are definitely available last minute if that's the route you want to go. As for the arrival, most people get there on Thursday night. Me and my friends decided to go Friday morning because it was a last minute situation that we decided to go, so it just worked better with our plan. And I heard there was tons of traffic the night before. I heard about people waiting in like 5 hours of traffic. We scooted right in. Only complaint about Friday morning was there wasn't a lot of signage and there's no exact GPS location to get to Coachella, so we were driving in circles for a little bit because none of the signage was up that was supposed to be directing us over to where Coachella is, as it tells you to do on the website. So when we arrived, I have a 2-door car, so everything was shoved in. Like, I don't really have a trunk. They had us get out of the car for the security check, and once again we drove straight up to the security check. No wait at all. As soon as we got there, they had us get out of the car and they opened the doors and we're kind of like, yeah, if we touch anything, I don't know how we're gonna get this back in. You guys packed this thing, like Tetris this shit, so we are not actually even gonna check anything. The security at that point had probably checked thousands of cars. I'm sure they were kind of over it at that point, so I am not 100% sure how hard they go if you arrive at the normal time, but I personally had a very easy experience, so know that that is possible. So like I said, I decided to camp. Most people choose not to camp. As I'm sure you know, Coachella is a festival. It's known for like the glitz and glam and the celebrities and like the photos. Most people are not down for camping when they're trying to just go to get their Instagram photos. Most people are not camping. There obviously are still a decent amount of people camping when there's tens of thousands of people going to a festival, but definitely not the majority. Like I said, my camping pass was $135, I believe. I split the cost of that with me and my friends, and it's the same price for a tent only spot versus a car camping spot. You can pay extra money. I think it was around $330 to get a preferred car camping pass, so that just means that you're guaranteed to have a spot close to the entrance. I really wanted to get that, but with 3 of us and the last minute sun trying to make this as cheap as possible, that was just not part of the plan for us, and I'm so glad we didn't in the end, because from my experience at camping festivals, if you don't get there very early, you're gonna have a spot very far away, and it's going to be a lot of walking. To my surprise, when we went to walk in the first day, we were some of the very last people to arrive. It was a 10-minute walk to the entrance of the venue, so it was like ideal, honestly. So as for the weather, this goes whether you're camping or not, but definitely more so if you're camping. It does get hot in the desert by April, so for my friends from the East Coast that were visiting, coming off winter, the temperature was a little bit hot. It was still a little bit hot for me, but definitely affects you more if you're coming off of a real winter. It was probably between 80 and 90 degrees all weekend, which I've heard is a little bit chillier. It's not chilly at all. A little bit less hot than it usually is at this time of year in the desert. I've heard about it being 100 plus pretty much every other year. The sun and the heat were not nearly as bad as I thought they were going to be. As for nighttime, this year at least, it was pretty cool. By the end of the night, when I would leave the crowd, it was just like when I'm at Electric Forest. I was like wrapped up in my scarf. I immediately ran back to the campsite and got changed to put all the separate change of clothes on with the big sweatshirt and everything. Definitely be prepared for it to get cool at night because it's not so humid in the desert. Obviously it's not humid at all. A little bit more about the camping situation. I personally thought that the camping area was really tame and quiet. Like I said, we're in the back corner and it really is reflective of who your neighbors are. So I had a pretty quiet experience overall. Even walking through at night, everything seemed pretty quiet. It seems like it was a little tiny bit more hectic like towards the entrance. This was like something that I was really surprised about and thought was really cool. I didn't spend too much time there, but there's this back road at the end of camping. So right when you leave at the end of the night, you can take this one path straight from the exit of the venue where there's vendors for food and everything that are open late night, and then there are these like living rooms that they make in these makeshift buildings. In the same area as the vendors, they have areas where you can dance and like listen to people playing music, like a little DJ setup. There's couches and all of that. There's also like a silent disco area. Actually, I don't even know if they call it a silent disco. It is like a silent disco and you have to wear the headphones, and it's so cool actually. Me and my friend were so surprised by this. They're playing music out loud, so if you're waiting in line, there's no headphones left. They have like a limited amount of people that can go in this enclosed area that's like surrounded by a fence, but you can still hear the music playing from the outside, and then when you put your headphones on, it adds like another layer of the music that you couldn't hear before, so it's like you get like bonus sounds to the song that was already good. It was so sick. So I don't know if they do that every year, but it was literally so cool. You have to go. There's also a little area next to it that is playing more like hip-hop music and stuff like that. So if you're ever feeling a more late night, there is stuff to do. It is more quiet, but I was really scared that it was going to be like dead quiet and very boring, but there was definitely stuff to do. Definitely campsites to hang out at, just not like the most wild camping area I've ever stayed in. I wouldn't say that the quiet hours are enforced. I think that there's quiet hours like after midnight, so I was really nervous. Me and my friends like weren't gonna be able to talk, and we're like gonna have like security coming up to us if we were playing music. That totally was not the case. Once again, I'm disgusting. Didn't shower the whole weekend, relied on baby wipes, dry shampoo, all that. I got braids in my hair, so I couldn't take a shower as far as my hair goes anyway, but every morning I saw a very, very long line around the normal time that people would roll out of bed, probably around 10 or 11. My suggestion would be to wake up really early and get there before the line, or suck it up and go at like 3 when the line is completely dead. If you go during the prime hours, you're gonna be waiting there for a very long time. The porta potty situation wasn't bad. Their porta potty is very close every time I had to go to the bathroom, in the venue and then in the camping area. As far as I know, there were no flushable toilets. There probably were in places like the VIP area, but as far as GA, porta potties all weekend. So now moving on to inside the venue. Everyone kind of knows all about like the inside of the venue, like as far as what it looks like. So the first thing to address for the actual concert venue is obviously security. Security wasn't too bad. If you stayed in an Airbnb, you're probably gonna get dropped off at the Uber drop-off location. That's where you have a brief security check, body and whatever security check-in for your ticket, a wristband, and then you walk through the camping area. So this part is already skipped if you are just camping. When you walk through the camping area, there's another checkpoint. So this is like the first checkpoint within the venue. This one I think was just to check your wristband. You kind of just walk through, like if you're still drinking something, like if you have a mixie or something that you're bringing with you, you can still be drinking that walking through there. Then you have a second checkpoint. This is where they scan your wristband and check your body with like a metal detector wand thing. The third security checkpoint is the last one you go through to get into the venue, and this is where they check inside your bag. You walk through like a full-blown metal detector. I didn't think security was too bad. Just like the security anywhere, it depends on the person's personality. I just kind of assess which line looks like it's moving the fastest. That's gonna be the person that's checking the least, and then you can scoot right on through there. You won't get your gum taken away if it's already open. You're not gonna notice your jewel if you have one. So within the festival, everyone kind of knows like what Coachella looks like. It is the festival where everyone's there to take photos. A lot of the art installations and everything stay the same within the venue year to year. The thing that I thought was so cool was the Antarctic. I don't know, I think they have this one every year too. I don't know what it was last year, but it's like this huge dome and it feels like you're in like a science museum where you're laying down to look at the stars, and it's supposed to like make you feel like you're engulfed in the sky. It had a Rufus Du Sol song playing every single time, and it was so like freaking cool, and it like literally made me feel like I was like swirling around and getting sucked into the sky. And it was air conditioned, which was a huge pro because it gave you like a little bit of a break from the heat if that's bothering you. So now moving on to the stages. I think there's 9 stages. So there's the main stage, which is an outdoor standard festival stage, nothing very special about it. The outdoor stage looks pretty much the same as the Coachella stage. Those are where most people are going to be seeing most of their acts. Then there's the Sahara tent, which is the tent that kind of looks like a rainbow. There's a lot of hip hop and like mainstream EDM there. There is the Yuma tent, which is like house and trance music, I think. I spent some time there. Honestly, I really only listen to bass music, so I don't know how to define that whole world in the EDM, but yeah, it's more like house music umbrella. That one is actually really cool. It's inside, it has AC, there's real bathrooms, there's a bar. It's very ravey. Then there's my favorite stage, the Do Lab, which is hosted by Do Lab, which puts on Lightning in a Bottle. So it's kind of like their guest stage there, and it's so pretty, so cool. Best vibes over there in my opinion. Had all my favorite music, and like some of my favorite sets from the weekend were there. They have people spraying water out front. It's never too crowded. That was the spot of the weekend. Do Lab, you have to go see side of the Do Lab. If you ever don't know what to do and have some downtime, go to the Do Lab. The answer is always the Do Lab. Then for the rest of the stages, I like didn't really go to. So there's the Gobi stage or tent, the Mojave, Sonora. I think those may or may not also have AC. And then there's the Heineken House, which is a very small stage that is like a beer only. Obviously they only sell Heineken, but yeah, that's a cool place too. That whenever there's places like that at festivals, like at Hard Summer, there was, I think, like the Corona beach stage. Like it's very small, and like there's always really small people there, and it makes it really fun, good vibes. So there are 2 VIP areas, I believe. I'm not a huge expert on this because I was not VIP, but there is the main VIP area that's to the side of the Coachella main stage, and then there is the Rose Garden area, I believe, where there is another like VIP like bars and like viewing area. One weird thing about Coachella is you're only allowed to drink in enclosed areas and like the beer gardens. It's like a nice spot to relax and go get some drinks, but like you can't be at a stage holding a drink. You have to finish the drink in there. It wasn't really too big of a big deal for me personally, but I feel like that could be kind of annoying. Also probably saves people from littering, people from getting too drunk and spilling on people. I never really saw people that were too drunk honestly there, so they probably have that rule for a reason and it's doing its job for having that rule. So for my final review of Coachella, if someone were to tell me that they would never go to Coachella, it's completely overrated, I'd be like, whoa, chill, it's fun. Like, you're being judgmental. If someone was like, this is the best festival ever, which so many people are, I'd be like, you've probably never been to a festival, it's not that great. I have mixed opinions on it. I thought it was cool, but not something to be like so passionate about with it being so cool or so lame. With that being said, I think that there are a lot of like first time festival goers, which is cool. I think this is like a pretty good first camping festival, to be honest. It wasn't super overwhelming. I know I don't really have the right for this, but I'm so irked by people that like really don't know anything about festivals and aren't super into them and then are just so obsessed with the Coachella and have no interest of going to other festivals. And I feel like there are a lot of people in the crowd that are like that, and that is because one, only into music that's mainstream and that's hyped up at the time, or they're only there to take photos. With that being said, you can definitely tell that it's like that because like people are pushing through the crowd, no one says excuse me. That's like not standard for festival culture, I don't think. So you can tell that there's a lot of people that aren't there because they're super into festivals and music and stuff. At the same time, you're not going to notice the people that are only there to take photos because they probably are taking a photo and then like standing at the front of the stage, going to the VIP area and then going home to their hotel. So I feel like the people that are like truly really annoying and that make Coachella have like a bad name around it for people that are really into festivals, like you really aren't having any interactions with them. As far as the music goes, I'm, like I said, super into bass music and there wasn't that much bass music there. For me personally, the lineup year after year isn't something I'm like dying over. The beer garden situation was kind of annoying, that you can't like drink wherever you want to. Another thing about the festival that was like okay. One thing I loved was the proximity of the camping and just the size of the festival in general for how many people were there. I was not bothered by the crowds. My friends were saying they noticed how packed it was and I really wasn't bothered by it at all. I just personally loved how close everything felt. Like when I go to Electric Forest, if you're camping really far away, it could take like 25 minutes to walk to the entrance, and then once you get in from the entrance, get to the farthest stage is like another 20 minutes. It's like over a mile. And this, the way it was shaped, was like more like a square and like a compact area rather than making it so spread out to get from place to place. I didn't hear any sound bleeding from stage to stage and everything was really close together, so that was something I loved about the festival. With that being said, about the sound bleeding, everything was so quiet. Thank God for the Bass Nectar set. They had an hour-and-a-half break between Billy and Bass Nectar, and that was because they had to stop to bring out like more speakers to make it louder because like Bass Nectar won't play if he can't be loud. At Billy, literally talking at this level, I looked at my friend and was like, how are we talking and literally not raising our voices at all, and I can hear you over the music? People like a couple people down to be like, I know it's so quiet. Like the fact that someone could hear me talking at a regular voice level from like people away was insane. I thought the art installations were pretty cool. Like I said, the Antarctic was so freaking cool, and like I said, the crowd was okay. People were pushing and stuff, which was super annoying, not super friendly. Also just kind of like minding their own business, just kind of like a standard concert is, but like when you're going to a festival you think everyone's gonna be super friendly, so that was kind of a bummer. So my overall verdict is probably would go back if it were the right circumstances, which is kind of the reason I went in the first place. I really only went because Bass Nectar was going, and I literally am so far up his ass that if he's gonna be that close that I'm gonna be there. And then like it was awesome because my festival friends ended up being able to come. As far as next year, definitely not doing the pre-sale. If for some crazy reason Bass Nectar is going again, or someone else I really liked, which at this point there's really no one else that I like enough that I'd want to spend $500 just to go see them, like I probably won't go back until Bass Nectar goes again. I don't know, for the right circumstances. If it was like a shitty lineup and literally all my friends wanted to go, I'd probably go again. I don't know. So my answer is maybe, probably not. So that is my video and review all about Coachella. Hopefully that helped you. I will definitely be doing more videos surrounded around Coachella in the future, definitely when everyone's getting ready for next year. I can do videos about the pool parties and anything else you might have questions about. If you have any questions, leave them down below and I can do my best to answer them for you. Thank you so much for watching my video and I will see you in the next one. Bye!